Good morning, everyone. Let's get right into the stock market technical analysis. We're going to start out with triple Qs today. So triple Qs is at the moment of truth as far as I can tell. If you look at the hourly chart here, you can see this is the area that they're trying to hold this support right here at about 360, 50 or so. Last couple of days we've been just grinding around this level. One thing to note, I am noticing just now, we do have some bullish divergence there on the hourly chart, not on the daily, but it is there on the hourly. So something to note, that is a bullish development, at least in the shorter time frame. And we are, we're not able to kind of break this 360 area. You want to see this go. This is, as I roll back on the daily, you can see here, this was your kind of your former support. We hit it back here, we hit it back, we hit it here, we hit it for the third time, and this is the fourth time. We're right in that area where, so the bulls are trying to hold this as their line in the sand, and the bears are trying to break it. So it could go either way, I guess, from this moment in time. I think it's likely going to break down to about, well, the next level of resistance was right here, so that should be former support, 342, I've got it 342.50 or somewhere right in there. We have the 100-day moving average as well. So a break of that, and I think we're going to have a pretty good swift move down. We also have some support right here at 354.60. But given that this is kind of the line in the sand, I think we'll probably just break right through that level and head right down to that target. But could go either way right here. So keep an eye on it. I'm a little unsure of which way it's going to break. I kind of want to see it break before I fully commit, but I'm going to take a shot to the short side here. The SPY hit that support zone right there at about 429.50. So again, that's the area it's just been hitting that trend line marked in red here. It was former resistance, and it's been support since about April of 2021. So I've got it kind of circled. Every time it tags that or got close, it bounced. And same with right here. I don't really have that one circled, but there was another close tag. And then today we hit it again. So we're seeing that bounce as kind of expected. So again, that might have been it for the pullback. We'll need to keep an eye on it. I wouldn't be heavily short down here at this support level till we see some of these clear support levels give way and break. And then looking at the hourly chart, you can see here, the main takeaway on the hourly chart is SPY does have some bullish divergence right there on the hourly. On the RSI, and let's see the PPO, what it looks like. Kind of mark that out there. And yeah, not so much on the PPO. It is there because we made a former low right here. I have it kind of circled. That was your former low. We just made an equal low in price, and yet the momentum is much higher. So we have bullish divergence on the hourly chart, on the SPY and the triple Qs. We are at support at some major levels. So, this is where the buyers should be at. Doesn't mean they're going to, but this is where they should be at. So that's really what we want to watch. If the buyers don't really show up really into the close of the week, then there might be something else going on. We might have a bigger move to the downside coming. So things to watch on both those charts. Just want to point it out. All right, we'll go through the short trade ideas and then some of the longs, and then we'll wrap up. All right, Blackrock, you can see we're back at that support level right there, 841.20. So you can see I have it kind of circled. We basically hit it here, hit it right there, and we're back there. So one thing to note is, each and every time we've hit this recently, we've had a sizable bounce. So you can see we hit it, we bounced. Hit it again, bigger bounce. Hit it for the third time, and we got a tiny little bounce right here. So you can see, and we're right back at it. So I think I'm going to take that as bearish. I'm seeing that bounce wasn't that strong, and we're right back out there. I think this is going to break, and we're going to head down to the next level of support. 790.30 is really the next key level that I've got. We've got a moving average also coming in, so maybe we break, hit the moving average, and then get a little bounce. But ultimately, I think 790, it's about 791 actually, is going to be where we're heading in this one. So again, this one, your bullish trend was established back in March 20. You can see a nice bullish trend. We broke the bullish trend, rallied, and looks like we're about to roll over and start a downtrend. A break from here will set up a new lower low, and the downtrend will be established at that point in time, like an official downtrend. But usually by the time it's obvious that it's a downtrend is not the time you want to be shorting. Usually when it's obvious, that's about the time you're going to get some sort of a bear market rally or something in the stock. So things to point out there. EMR, I've been short this one for a while. We've got support right there at about 93.57. Really looked very similar to Blackrock. You've got the little bit of a bounce, and then we're heading back down towards that support. So I think we're going to break on this one, head down to the next level of support, which is really 87 is what I've got on that one. So as far as I can tell, this uptrend, this one has had a really nice sell signal as well. Clear uptrend off the March 2020 lows. Big sell signal right there where we broke that trend. We did have negative divergence at the time, so you can see the momentum, how it's downtrending. See here on the PPO and the RSI how we're downtrending while price was continuing to move higher. That's your negative divergence. We set up a secondary trend. We broke that secondary trend. It's been all selling since that break. So as far as I can tell, this thing's doing this. We're starting a downtrend. We get a little bounce, and then we continue like that. Okay, this net is at support, NET. You've got support right there at about 110.56. You can see we've held that so far, so we're getting a reaction on that. I don't have another sell signal until we break that. So if you're short, and you shorted it up here on the trend line break, you're profitable by about 15%, just about 3 or 4 days. So you could cover there. And you could even flip long if you wanted to with a stop somewhat below. But I wouldn't look to re-short it until we break that support level. All right, 110. It's right there, 110.75 or right in that area. So that's what I'd be keying off on that one. Starbucks coming down to support again. Starbucks has a potential head and shoulders top. Again, not my most favorite pattern, but it's important to keep note of these things. So you have a shoulder here, here's your head, and then your shoulders right there. So head and shoulders, potential head and shoulders top. The neckline right now on this head and shoulders is sitting there at 109.50. So I want to see that go for the next major sell signal. We're close. We're coming down to it. And if that breaks, we're likely set up to move all the way down to about 93.50 or so as the next level of support. Okay. Tesla is really trading in the exact same spot it's been for the last 3 or 4 days. So we're just holding here. I am seeing some dip buyers show up just now. When I look at AMC and some of the momentum stocks, you can see AMC just caught a bid, and it's just been spiking higher right here. So I do keep an eye on that. Seeing a little bit of dip buyers show up. So we do want to keep an eye on that, especially if you're short different stocks. You want to make sure you're not letting that get away from you too much, taking some profit as we get down, as we've sold off. So keep an eye on that. Here's Tesla back here on the hourly, on the daily. So we're holding here. We'll see what they want to do. Maybe they do want to pop it above these all-time highs, put in a divergent high, and then sell off. It really depends on what the market's going to do. If the triple Qs is going to hold here, then Tesla's likely going to catch a bid. So things to watch on that one. Some other interesting ones. BKE, this one's interesting. So we have another sell signal today. So on BKE, we've got big negative divergence that's been building. I don't know what happened to that line. I had it before, but negative divergence there. So we were making new highs and putting in divergent highs on this trend line right here. See that? All the reactions. We've got 6 reactions. We recently broke below and they popped it back above. Looked like a recovery. Today, big smash down, big sell signal. False breakout right there. I have it circled. So that's a bull trap with a big, down 7.5%, right at the moving average. But with that move that we just saw and that false break, that false recovery, and now the break, I think we're going to have more selling to come here shortly. So this one, we probably want to mark out some additional levels. Might have to do some homework, but there's a clear level right there. Let's tighten that up. It's right down there. So that's probably where this thing's heading, and that's down to 28.75. Okay, Nike. So Nike's sell signal was all the way back here on August 31st. It's pretty much been straight down ever since then. You can see we're down about 12.5% gain on that short. Again, everything was priced into the charts. We had negative divergence that was building. You can see the momentum just dropping off. And it forecast that we were going to get a reversion trend. So we had former resistance, which is right there for 146.10. You can see we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reactions. So right now that's proving to be support. So, until this goes with an impulsive sell signal, this is support. So we could easily bounce, get a gap fill, maybe all the way up to 158.53, something like that. Or 152.09 would be another level I'd be watching. That was kind of your former support / resistance pivot area right there. So yeah, until you see the sellers really step in impulsively right here, this is support. Now, if the sellers do step in, I think we're going to flush straight down to 134.75, and that would be the final target on that trade. So there's some key levels to watch. AMD kind of holding this trend line right here. You can see that in blue, we were walking up this trend line. They broke it yesterday, not super impulsive. Today, gapped up and holding that. So I don't like that. When I see that, I want to see the seller step in before I'm interested in really re-shorting this thing. I shorted it up here on this big drop or this big pump right here because it was just pretty obvious. Once it failed, it was pretty obvious. Not a lot of profit on that one. Just I need to see some more impulsive selling show up on that one. JCI, this one broke trend right back here on September 17th. So we had an original sell signal here on the June 16th. Uptrend was coming off the March 2020 lows. Put in a bearish rising wedge. We broke trend right there, and then they created a secondary trend. And that's what's happened pretty much across the market. It broke its trend and then created a secondary trend. A lot of these stocks did that. And so we were just walking up this trend, pretty much every day, just grinding higher. We broke trend again right here on September 17th, and it's been straight down since. So I think we're continuing down. We're below the 100-day moving average. Nice selling today. We'll see where this thing closes. They might try to hold it above this 100-day moving average. Yeah, until I see a break of that, we've broken it now. We need to see it close below it. Close below it sets us up for a move down to 62.28. So there's some support there, and we got some lower levels, but we'll just watch that one for right now. SOXX, this is a semiconductor index, and I've talked about this in my recent videos, how the semiconductors are kind of the leading edge of tech. We are below trend and still below. So you can see here on the daily chart, clear uptrend line, lots of reactions on this one. And we broke 2 days of solid selling, a little bit of bounce today, but nothing, no recovery, no technical recovery. So as far as I can tell, we're just maybe going to consolidate here for a couple days, kind of bear flag out sideways. They might try to grind it higher a little bit, but ultimately this thing's heading lower. So I'm staying short on this one. Where would I exit a short? Well, if they can recover and the market can start to rally and it can start to, hold this trend line again, then I'd want to exit. But for right now, it is a bearish looking chart. We've got a break in trend line support. We have negative divergence. It's been building for a very long time in this one. So I think we're going to get a consolidation and then a flush. And then the home building sector, XHB, this is just an ETF that is comprised of a bunch of different home builders. Trend line break in this as well. You can see I've got all the tags of support on this one kind of marked out, except for this one right here. And there's another one. And basically, there's your break of trend line support right there. You've got a nice solid break, kind of a flag day, and then a continuation. So looks like we're heading down to the, we don't have support till 69.25 or so. And again, we had negative divergence. I have it marked out there. So this is likely going to continue to drift lower. We'll probably get a bounce down here. But it looks like we've started a downtrend. And then, I think we'll probably end up down here at 65.60. Those are the only two levels I have right now. So looking for that. That's a move of about another, 10%. KHC is a long trader pointed out. You can see it's relatively looking okay. It's holding some strength. ZG, I want to talk about that one as well. But look at KHC. We've got this level of resistance. We broke it yesterday. They're below it right now, but we'll see where we close. and that level's sitting at about 37.44. So a break of, a close above that's going to be pretty bullish. That's going to continue to set this up for a long trade. Again, I had bullish divergence on this, marked it out, had it circled down here, talked about how I like this as a bullish trade, and then we had a bullish breakout or a buy signal right here on September 8th. And then from then, it's just drifted sideways for many weeks, but we're starting to trend upward. So I like it. Target is gap fill. Big gap from back here in 2019, and the gap fill level is 47.90 or so. Zillow Group. All right, so Zillow, it looks bullish to me, actually. So Zillow on the daily chart, I've got bullish divergence. You can see how we've been drifting lower here on Zillow, but look at the PPO starting to, it has bullish divergence, basically. And then the RSI, let's check that out. Yeah, it's just recently got it. So the PPO's had bullish divergence. See how it's uptrending, and then the RSI kind of just got it. So drifting lower, but on bullish moving momentum, kind of have this bullish falling wedge. I'm not a big fan of it, but we are at some support right there at 89.95. That was former resistance. We hit it once as support. We're below it now, but a recovery of that, and we're basically right there. Looks to me like this wants to have a pop, so looks bullish. And if it does break to the upside, I would say the target's likely going to be, we've got, we had a major target right there at 125.76. That could be the target. That's a move of about 40%. So you could watch that. There's another level that was relevant right here at about 113.91. So key levels to watch there, things to watch for. Again, bullish divergence is not a reason to buy it or go long. I need to see some sort of a buy signal, some sort of a breakout above the trend line resistance. Right now I've got some resistance right there at 94.10 or 94 area. And if you go to the hourly chart, kind of tighten that up. But you can see we have resistance, and resistance. Probably could even tighten that up. But somewhere right in there, a bullish break above that would set this up for an upside move. Okay, wrap it up with gold. Gold's catching a bid today. You can see we were down near the support zone. I talked about that. And we're catching a bid today up $30. We ran right into resistance at 1756. All right, that was I've got that marked out as kind of a key level. And we popped right into it. We're holding pretty much at that level, so they'll keep us guessing most likely into today. Gold futures, one thing I noticed on the hourly chart, there's some resistance right there. So on the hourly chart on GC gold futures, you can see so we popped right up to that, and that's where the sellers are at, so that makes sense. We need to see a break above that for the kind of the next major buy signal in gold. But one thing that tell me it's going to happen, bullish divergence. It's in the charts right there. See the momentum, how it's kind of moving higher. So as price was drifting lower here, momentum was moving higher. So I think we're going to break. We're probably going to flag out here for a little bit. Likely just maybe come back, hit this, flag out, and then pop it. All right, that's what I think is going to happen. Okay, that's all I have for today, guys. So let me know what you guys think. Leave me a thumbs up. Check out the Stock Market Technical Analysis course. I leave a link in the description of every single video. It's going to give you the skill set to find your own trades. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.